Kung Fu, a port of the 1984 arcade game Kung Fu Master. You are Tommy, a Kung Fu Master, and you have to battle through 5 levels to rescue your kidnapped girlfriend Sylvia. Each level is actually a separate floor of the Devil's Temple, and even though it's a slight ripoff of Bruce Lee's movie Game of Death, it's forgivable. So you tear through dozens of enemies with your trusty punch, side kick, sweep, crouching punch, jump kick, and the ever-useless jumping punch. Seriously, why even have that move in the game? There's a nice variety of enemies. You have your standard thugs who just give you a nice tight hug and somehow drain your energy, knife throwers, and midgets called tom-toms. Oh, excuse me, little people. Each of the 5 floors has its own unique boss. For example, a guy with a stick, a cool magician where you can kick his head off and he doesn't die, and Michael Clark Duncan. If a boss manages to defeat you, you'll hear a nice, scary laugh. Plowing through the enemies may seem repetitive in theory, but the quick action keeps things flowing well. There's also a couple levels that have traps that keep things fresh as well. On the second level, you have snakes and fire-breathing dragons to avoid. And on the 4th floor, you have to stay away from killer mutant moths. Aww, they're so cute! In between a few of the levels, you'll be reminded what exactly you're fighting for. Sylvia bound up in a chair. Is it wrong if I get turned on by this? By the way, I'm not sure the tom-toms should be grabbing me that low, but okay. What the hell? You sneaky little little person. If you make it to the end, you'll fight with Mr. X, who's also a Kung Fu master, who not only can mimic your moves, he can dodge and block your attacks. Oh, he gains his life back too? He actually just blocked my jump kick. Yeah, laugh it up, fuzzball. Yeah, eat it. Alright, time for Tommy to get some sugar. Kung Fu is an absolute classic, not just for Nintendo, but in the overall gaming world. It was actually the first game in the beat-em-up genre, which helped pave the way for future games like Double Dragon and Final Fight. What else can I say on this one? Oh my god, Kung Fu kicks all leagues of ass. Beat those midgets! I mean little persons. Slalom, a sports series game that actually has a different title theme. Way to go, Rare. You start off by choosing from one of 3 mountain courses. You have Snowy Hill, Steep Peak, and Mount Nasty, which sounds like it should belong in a Panesian game, actually. So you're skiing down a very long course, and you're dressed in what looks like red Long John pajamas. You also wear what looks like to be the shortest skis ever created. They barely go past the skier's boot. So you have to beat the time to keep going, and you have to do that by avoiding the trees and the other skiers that you fly by. The play control's a little iffy as you ski left and right. It's slippery and pretty difficult to actually slalom through the poles. You can jump whenever you want to, which doesn't make a difference as there's not really much to jump over besides little hills that make you jump anyway. And you can tuck to go quicker, even though it's a nice moon to us. And that's exactly how I feel when I play this game. Like someone is mooning me the entire time. As for actually doing the slalom, it really just slows you down. You don't have to. You don't get any points for missing like you would in a real slalom event. So you're better off just skipping them and just getting through the course the best you can. The later courses just get ridiculous. Besides the hills, trees, and skiers, you not only have to contend with little kids on sleds, but also snowmen, even lined up in a row. What type of ski resort is this? Are you kidding me? Do those kids want to die? Oh my god, get out of my way! You almost don't want to finish the race though, because this is why. Holy hell! It was bad enough seeing that pajama outfit from the back. Gyromite, or Robot Gyro. The name of the game is different than the name on the title screen. This must be a special rule with the Rob games. No, I'm really not in the mood to set up Rob and play him because half the time it doesn't work. It really doesn't, you got problems. But you can play Gyromite with that. You just need 2 controllers instead of 1. The second one acts as Rob himself. So you're Professor Hector, and your goal is to defuse all the dynamite sticks in the level before the time limit runs out. Each level contains hanging ropes that you can climb up and down, as well as columns that get in your way, and that's where Rob comes in. Either by using Rob or the second controller directly, you can raise the blue and red columns up and down. You can do this so Professor Hector can get by, or to smash your enemies. Yeah, that probably hurt a little. You have to be careful though because you can smash yourself very easily with the columns. There's only one type of enemy unfortunately, and that's the little mutant lizards named Smicks. They'll come after you, but you can grab a radish and lay it on the ground where the Smicks will just chomp at it, allowing you to pass safely. For a game that has to do with defusing lots of dynamite bombs, it has a cute little song. It's a simple game that can be fun in small doses, but besides that, there's really not a reason to acknowledge this game too much.
Rob, I'm kidding, Rob. I love Gyromite.
What I meant to say was, I love Gyromite. Alright, it's soccer. And yes, that is different music than baseball, volleyball, tennis, and synchronized swimming. Alright, each team only has 5 players on each side, but as it's a proportionally smaller field than a real soccer field, that's okay. Soccer almost plays like a glorified tabletop foosball game, but it's fun. Now you have to give these players a lot of credit for their flexibility. Look at those kicks! They're either playing soccer or auditioning for a cabaret show. The gameplay is simple yet responsive. Like you would expect in a soccer game, you can dribble the ball, pass it, or shoot. Now the dribbling's a little staccato-like. You run up to the ball, you kick it once, the ball goes forward, and you follow it. It sort of simulates really dribbling in soccer, except for that galosh stepping in mud sound effect it makes when you kick the ball. There's not much in terms of strategy you have to employ to score in this game. Simply pass the ball behind the defense, run up with your nearest player, get out in the open, and it's usually an easy score. Playing on level 2, I could pretty much score at will, and the computer wasn't much of a challenge. I managed to score a whopping 8 goals in one game, which if you check on it was actually more goals scored in all the games played in the last World Cup combined. There's not a whole lot you can do on defense. You can select the player closest to the ball, and then try to run up and kick it away from the offense. Like in ice hockey for the NES, you can control the goalie to make saves, and dive for the ball, which is pretty cool. Where soccer disappoints is the fact that you can only play one game at a time. There's no tournament mode, and it's not like you can even defeat all the teams in a row. It's one and done. Wild Gunman, a zapper game set in the Old West. Yeehaw! Game A is a showdown with one gunman at a time. He'll stroll out and tell you to fire. As long as you hit him in the allotted time, you're okay. That's all it is, basically. Even though you're not required, I'd recommend actually having to quick draw your zapper, then shooting. Or else there's no challenge at all keeping the zapper pointing at the guy the whole time until he says fire. The characters are well drawn for an early Nintendo game, and they even have a little personality thrown in. You have your standard cowboy, your bandito, the scared guy who doesn't wear a proper belt, the city slicker, and the stereotypical cowboy with a whip. Or a purse. I really can't tell. Game Mode B actually presents a little bit of a challenge and is more fun because you have to shoot 2 outlaws at a time instead of 1. A general rule of thumb is to target the outlaw with the least amount of time allotted to you first, and then shooting the second one. However, this is not always a good idea because sometimes only one outlaw will be firing at you. If you shoot one that doesn't yell fire, you get a foul and lose a life. Sneaky, sneaky. Game Mode C is a little like Game Mode B in Hogan's Alley. Yeah, I think I got that right. You have to shoot a gang in a town, and that's really about it. Although I think Hogan's Alley edges this title out just a tad bit, Wild Gunman's still a nice solid zapper game. Is that a happy face on his crotch? Not that I was staring there, of course.